This is the first of a series of Windows 8 tutorials that I make to acquaint you with Windows 8. It is not intended for people who have already used Windows 8 extensively. It is for you who may buy a new laptop or desktop in November, December when Windows 8 is out, or if you want to experiment now with the Windows 8 Consumer Preview, which is actually the program I am using. The Consumer Preview is very handy because you get a free product key and you can install it in many different ways. I installed it first in a double boot configuration on my laptop, which means in a separate partition together with Windows 7 in another partition. That one I didn't like too much because it increased my boot time for Windows 7 significantly. The two boot managers, the Windows 7 NTFS boot manager and the Windows 8 boot manager, they apparently don't work very well together. Then I installed it on an external SATA disk, and that also was a double boot situation, but it was a little better because that was a SATA disk is in an enclosure that I could switch off, and when it wasn't on I could easily get to my Windows 7. Then I installed it on an external USB 3 disk, and that was interesting. That's a completely different installation process though. That was interesting. That worked quite well, except my disk was a 5400 RPM disk, wasn't too fast, but it was with a USB 3 port. It was quite nice, and the advantage was I could carry it between my laptop and my desktop, where I have enclosures, open enclosures on both, so I could run it on both systems. Then I also installed it on a USB 3 stick. Now that's interesting. There was a very fast USB 3 stick and worked very well. Actually, I still have that. It works extremely well. The last, and the one that I will be mostly using here, is an installation in VirtualBox. And that is the absolute ultimate, because I can run the Windows 8 and the Windows 7 seamlessly together, and for example I can do these recordings here from Windows 7, launching them from Windows 7 on the VirtualBox window, Windows 8. Very, very nice installation, and of course this is all good when you just experiment with the system. If you want to have a really full-blown production system, you probably want to make a basic installation as usual, but that is for the time when Windows 8 is out, not yet with the Consumer Preview. But the Consumer Preview works very well. It's extremely stable, it is faster than Windows 7, and most of the functions work except some of these new applications that they are to provide. They are in the Consumer Preview, at least there's links to them, but most of them don't work very well yet. But that's to be expected. I'm sure they can fix it until they launch the product for the market, and because when people pay for it, they expect the stuff to work. Now the picture you see here is when you boot into Windows 8. That's the first picture you get, and that's where most people are flabbergasted, because they don't know what to do, because you can't really click on anything. There is nothing to click on. The uninitiated person will not know how to proceed from here, and it is actually very, very simple. You go to your mouse and you roll your mouse back one notch, and you get let me see, and you get this screen, and here you sign in with your password and hit enter, and off you go. From there on you will be in Windows 8, and in the next section I will show you what you will see and explain to you how to deal with it.